Because you guys know I've been out of town, so I haven't been able to post nearly as much, okay? But I could not let this go. You've seen this, right? I think we've all seen it at this point. If you think the discourse around this is like unhinged on TikTok, you haven't seen anything. You haven't been on Twitter. The discourse around this on Twitter is absolutely unhinged. I've been being attacked 8 ways to Sunday by the coconut pilled people and Blue MAGA and all them because I criticized this insanely embarrassing moment. They thought this was brat. They thought this was yes, queen, girl boss shit. It's the most tone deaf shit I've ever seen. Like, it was out there like, oh my gosh, look at Kamala girl boss being like, I'm speaking. They're like, oh my gosh, she don't play. Yeah, you know who else doesn't play? Voters who stay home.
To surrender our fight against the climate crisis, and he intends to end the Affordable Care Act. You know what? If you want Donald Trump to win, then say that, otherwise I'm speaking.
Bro, they thought that was cute. Like, they thought that was a good look. How embarrassing. Her team, if her team actually wanted her to win, okay, over at Kamala HQ or whoever the hell is on her campaign, they would say, never do that again. Because I know that Blue MAGA and the Yas Queen Brigade, but actually to most people who aren't sociopathic monsters, it looks horrible. She did that little I'm speaking shtick when she debated Mike Pence, and that was fine. Because she was debating Mike Pence, who was a powerful white man who had already been the vice president of the United States. It's not cute when you're doing it to a bunch of Muslim women who are protesting in Michigan because they've lost family members in Gaza. This is what it's giving. It's giving tone deaf. It's giving punching down. What is wrong with you people who are defending this? And yes, there are so many people defending it, okay? So many people in my fucking comments on Twitter being like, actually, this was like her being a queen. This was every woman who's been told to shh by a man. It's like, yeah, except for that, usually when that phrase is used, you're talking about like white men in corporate America. It's not the same thing to do your little feminist, this is every woman standing up to her boss when you're talking to Muslim women who are protesting that their families are getting incinerated in Gaza. Get a clue. It's unbelievably cringe, incredibly insensitive and tone deaf to do that to a bunch of it. 2 seconds before that clip, she actually said, the path to victory runs through this state. Watch.
And listen, I am clear. The path to the White House runs right through this
state. Why would you say that? Like, even if you don't give a shit about what's happening in Gaza from a pure political standpoint, knowing that Michigan is a state that you need to win and has a massive Arab American and Muslim population, you would think that you would at least pretend to give a shit. Honestly, this is one of the most disgusting things I've seen in a long time. And the response to it, just like people acting like this is cute, that this is like some slay queen shit. People were actually writing, yeah, well, they interrupted her and that's rude. Protests are supposed to be convenient for you? Those pesky protesters and their demands to stop murdering their family. How rude. Truly vile, truly tone deaf, truly disrespectful. Because again, these were the protesters. They were a group of Muslim women. And you know what? I've said it before and I'll say it again. I'll probably continue to say it, and people get super, super mad on both sides. People get mad on the Jill Stein side. They get mad on the, coconut pilled side, Blue MAGA side. And that is that I have been really struggling with what I am going to do. Because I've said many times that I fear a Trump presidency. I understand that like Project 2025 is real, that I believe that Trump would be even more brutal on Gaza. But then I also believe that it is the candidate's job to earn the votes of the people. It is not my responsibility to go to work for you. It is your responsibility to earn the votes of the people. And we seem to have gotten that backwards in this country, where we act like we're supposed to be auditioning for the politicians and not the other way around. And I've said before that I would love to vote for the first Black woman president. I would love that. That would be an amazing thing to be able to vote for that in this country. But you're making it real hard. You're making it real hard to want to support you. So at this point, right now, at this moment, I am still an uncommitted voter. And I read that she met with the uncommitted folks before this rally and then went on to insult them and then went on to say that they would not support an arms embargo on the Israeli regime. So again, at this moment, I am still uncommitted because I am struggling. And in fact, I think a lot of you who criticize those of us who are being honest enough to say that we're struggling, you really have a lot of chutzpah and a lot of hubris. I mean, I guess good for you if you don't feel any struggle. Because for me, I struggle with the implications of what a Trump presidency would do, not only to Gaza, but to the United States. But then I look at what the Biden administration does and continues to do. And I think, how can I support this? I look at the news and I see that mass essays are happening over in Gaza. And soldiers and citizens over there in the Israeli regime are not only cheering it, okay? They're defending their right to essay people. And I don't even see it being covered in the US. Where's Jake Tapper and Dana Bash? Because they were front and center on the Israeli regime's mass atrocity propaganda hoaxes. But when it comes to this, suddenly, every time I open my phone and I see the scenes of the genocide, it makes me think to myself, I cannot vote for this. I cannot vote for more of this. And don't bother coming in here with, what do you mean you can't vote for more of this? It'll be worse under Trump. I fucking know. I know. And I know Jill Stein's not gonna win, but why are these our only two options? Why in this massive free country is there no option to not support the genocidal Israeli regime? Just today, that trash receptacle Antony Blinken is like, nope, no sanctions on settlers. And I've told you guys many times that like this is something that I'm really struggling with. And I feel like when you're on social media, especially if like me, you're being told every single day, like regardless of what side it is doing it, being like, fuck you, you should be doing this. And that can be, I think, really overwhelming for people. But for me, I'm never going to tell you guys something that I don't really think. And I'm never going to not be honest with you about where I am. And where I am right now is that I'm struggling. I am struggling because I'm like, I don't want to empower Trump to get another term, but I also do not want to empower I'm speaking over here and their policy to continue to prop up genocide. I will tell you one thing I am sure about though, and that is that the responsibility to earn the votes of uncommitted people or people who are anti-genocide is not on me. And it's not on anyone that says that they're not going to vote, and it's not on anyone that's choosing to vote for Jill Stein. It is on the campaign. So I'm not going to judge anybody for how they choose to vote, but before you come and start screeching at Jill Stein and anti-genocide voters about their decision, your ire should be directed at the people in power and the campaign that they're running. Because I can tell you one thing, this whole I'm speaking is not going to fucking do it.